I'm here at Veterans Park in Lake Forest, California. I wanted to come here to reflect on the Benghazi terrorist attacks from, hard to believe it's been 10 years now. And it's personal to me. Benghazi is, doesn't matter who you talk to about it, is so hyper politicized that the people have lost sight of why it even matters. Depending on who you talk to, they'll blame a YouTube video, and then the other side would say this, we gotta lock her up for her failure of leadership, when it's so much more so than any of that. First off, this was a terrorist attack planned and coordinated ahead of time by veteran terrorists that had a history of terrorism for God knows how long. And they went on to continue committing terrorist attacks after that fateful night and morning of September 11th and September 12th, 2012. And because it was politicized, the congressional record is mired with falsehoods, unfortunately. But for those that are aware of politics, that's not a surprise now, is it? But what's also unfortunate is that when 3 of the GRS guys that were on the ground that fateful night broke cover to set the record straight, their characters were attacked by the mainstream media and those that didn't like what they had to say, because it made them look bad, put them in a bad light, or highlighted their failure of leadership and failure to act on that night. Michael Bay, not known to make these polished movies, you know, well, he paid tribute to them to tell their story, and he did a hell of a job doing so. But even that movie was met with so much politics that it was buried at the box office. But well, recently there was a book published by Dave Boone Benton, one of the GRS guys on the ground that night, and also ex-CIA targeter Sarah Adams, who was also stationed at Benghazi. They wrote a book called Benghazi, Know Thy Enemy, a cold case investigation. It's not really a book, it's a case file containing the biographies, the last known locations, and terrorist networks of over 100 attackers. It tells you the before, during, and after the Benghazi attacks, and proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that these were terrorist attacks, and they were planned, they were coordinated. Even the launch of that book has been met with its own drama. It was supposed to be released on the anniversary of September 11th. It got delayed by bureaucracy. And eventually, when the book did publish, shenanigans with Amazon still have not fulfilled pre-orders, yours truly being among them. And then there was price gouging. And now, another update. I'll get it sometime in December. Maybe there'll be a Christmas miracle. On top of that, there was also a book pretending to be the abridged version of this book. So you don't have to read the so-called boring parts. Just read the good parts, full of misinformation that is available for purchase. Benghazi, Know Thy Enemy, a summary. What? There's a lot of shenanigans that go on when reflecting on this, and the ones that are harmed by all this, the ones that continue to hurt, are those that have been forgotten. That's the whole theme of Benghazi, the attacks. They were forgotten that night, and they've been forgotten ever since. These guys didn't break cover, and others later on, to talk about this so they can earn political points. No, they're remembering the fallen. Ambassador Christopher Stevens, Sean Smith, GRS guys, Tyrone Woods, and Glenn Doherty. No, 6 guys on the ground in Benghazi did what was right, but also one more in Tripoli, several hundred miles away, that did something to try to help, and also paid with his life. Yes, they want leadership held accountable, as do I. But this is personal to me because it's personal to them. There was no justice ever done for the attackers, to get the attackers to justice, to bring them to justice. Even to this day, the left or the right haven't done anything about this. One tries to keep using the YouTube video as political cover for their failures to act. The other side just try to use it to score political points to win elections. No, it's bullcrap. We need to bring the perps to justice. The enemy is still out there. And that's what this book is about, Benghazi, Know Thy Enemy. To remind people, these are the many faces that are still out there, not just the deceased. And who knows how many more have sprouted ever since. We don't know. We need to remember Benghazi, yes, but also demand justice for the Americans that we lost and those that were injured, whose lives have been transformed because of that fateful night. And we must never lose sight of these things. But even to this day, lies are being spread about this. And it's a darn shame, because we need justice for Benghazi. And those that committed these terrorist attacks should not be sleeping soundly at night. They should be looking over their shoulder the rest of their lives for fear of reprisals. And it's been 10 years and it hasn't come for most of them. And in the years since this news broke, I never thought I'd be saying this, but I got to speak to a few of the heroes. 2 of the GRS guys and 1 ex-CIA targeter. And a couple of them I keep in touch to this day. That is pretty awesome. And like I said, Benghazi is personal to me because it's personal to them.